Hey guys, it's Kate of Cate and M. Since Em and I are celebrating Peggy Carter this week, we decided that it might be really cool for me to do a makeup tutorial on Peggy's look from the show. And it's actually pretty simple. The look that she wore in Captain America, the first Avenger, is actually a little bit more complicated. There's a little bit more to it. So at the end of the tutorial, I'm actually going to move the look from Agent Carter the series into Agent Carter from Captain America, the first Avenger. So, to start with, I have a clean face, I have nothing on, I'm incredibly pale and pink, so I apologize for that right now. I'm sitting in as good of natural sunlight as I can for you guys, which is actually glaring at me, so I apologize for that. But, and you can see all my fun crafty stuff in the background. This is cosplay central in my house. So anyway, I'm going to get started with a base. And right now I am using Dior Nude in shade 10. Because I'm ridiculously pale. And you can use a foundation brush if you like, but the way that Dior likes to do their products, they like you to buff it on with a kabuki brush, which kind of creates a fun, fun base. So right before I do that, I'm actually going to use one of my favorite products, which is Makeup Forever's new primer. This is their step 1. It's just a smoothing primer, and I have some pores, which I'm not going to get close enough to the camera for you to see at the moment. But I usually throw this guy on my nose right here because I have pores that I can see like crazy. And then on the sides here. A little bit up here because, you know, we girls wax. And then a little down here. Now this is really good for creating that airbrushed look. It's a lovely, lovely primer. It smells good, and as you see, a very, very little bit will do you. So that is Makeup Forever step 1. And then I'm going to go on and do my Dior foundation, which I have a little pot of right here because this is what was left, and I got rid of the jar. So I threw it into a little to-go jar so I could take it places with me. It's a lot easier to travel to conventions or wherever. So I just dab my kabuki brush in there, get some on the kabuki brush, and then you're going to buff it into place. That's what I love about Dior foundations. You do have to buff them. The Makeup Forever way is slightly different. I'll show you that in a different tutorial maybe in the future. They like to use their foundation brush and not a kabuki brush. And they use a lot less of their foundation to do it. They're pretty big on the HD foundations too. So whatever shade of foundation works for you guys is your prerogative. I am very fair. The look of the 1940s was pretty fair, as a matter of fact. Very fair skin and that red lip. So don't make yourself look pale and unnatural. So don't all of a sudden, you know, say, hey, I have olive skin and I'm going to look like a geisha, because it's not going to work. Just get a foundation that matches your skin tone. And don't walk into the pharmacy and go, that one works, because you really have to try it on your skin. So do yourself a favor, and most department stores have a cosmetics department, and they are willing to sit you down and match you for a foundation. Foundation really is all in what you pay for. So the more you're willing to pay for a foundation, the better of a foundation you're going to get. This Dior foundation, I believe, was, I want to say 50 or 60. To me, it was worth it because I like the look that I get on it. But there's also Makeup Forever, which their foundation, their HD foundation, is beautiful, and I believe it's $42, and you use so little of it that you're going to have it for a while. It does have a shelf life of about a year, so I wouldn't go beyond that year. Some people try to keep them for like 5 years, and it makes me cringe. When your makeup starts to smell like perfume, it's time to get rid of it. So after I... after I put foundation on, I like to do a powder. My preferred powder is Makeup Forever Loose Translucent Powder. Not a lot of people like translucents because they feel like they get everywhere. And they kind of can sometimes. So what I do is I get some on my brush, and then I tap it into the lid here to tap it off. And then you buff it into place. A little bit more for my forehead. Okay, cool. So sometimes loose powder does get all over the place. I just happen to like loose powder, me personally. It's easy to take on set with you. It's easy to take everywhere. I mean, you can do pressed powder, but I also feel like I'm not moving my foundation around when I use a loose powder. That's just my personal preference. So, my next step is to use an eyeshadow primer. You guys do not have to take all of these primer steps or anything if you don't want to, or if you're not really into makeup. I just happen to know that all of these things are going to keep everything in place. So my preferred primer is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I use the original, which has a little bit of a tint to it, which I will try to show you in the webcam of my Mac. See how it has kind of a tint to it? So and literally use about that much, which is like a little tiny dollop on each eye. All over the eyelid. What this is going to do is, you know how if we put eyeshadow on in general, it gets that crease in the middle of our lids throughout the course of the day? This is the makeup artist's secret to no creases, and your eyeshadow will not move. Now granted, for this particular look for Peggy in Agent Carter, she's not wearing any eyeshadow. So she is wearing eyeshadow in Captain America's First Avenger, but she's not wearing any in the series. Not that I could tell. Now the only people who really know if that's true are Haley Atwell and the makeup artist, but I didn't see it. So I'm just saying, that's the way I do things. So anyway, that would be the eyeshadow primer, which I use even if I'm not wearing eyeshadow because it blocks out some of the pink in my eyes. I have a lot of pink in my skin, so that's my preferred method of doing things. The next thing I'm going to do is fill in my eyebrows. I am a redhead, but I am not a natural redhead. Shh, don't tell anybody, like you couldn't tell. So I fill in my eyebrows pretty much every day, and before I just got it done and got it brightened, this color really, really worked for me. But if you think about it, if you're going to be cosplaying Peggy, you're going to be wearing a brunette wig, or you're going to already be one. So filling in your eyebrows with a brown color would be really good. I tend to use an eyeshadow, which I would show you the eyeshadow, but it's all cracked. This is an Estee Lauder eyeshadow called Chocolate Bliss that they don't make anymore, so hence why I'm not going to dump it out and show you all what it looks like. It is a really nice kind of rich reddish brown. And the sun is glaring in here, so this is going to make this real difficult. So we will fill in the eyebrows. They don't have to be completely filled in. I happen to have pretty thick eyebrows to begin with. I have pared them down over the years. Actually, I'm going to use my little mirror right here because I can't see you guys. There we go. So it just gives my eyebrows a little bit more life. I have naturally black eyebrows, and they can be kind of dark, so I usually trim them down and, you know, do all those things that girls do to change their appearance, because that's what we do. So anyway, you fill in the eyebrows, and brown is appropriate for this particular instance. I wish my eyebrows were as thin as that, but they're not. So my next step's going to be the blush. Now the blush of the 1940s was kind of like a rosy color, almost you can go plummy, but they were very rosy cheeked and all of that. So my particular blush of choice is also an Estee Lauder blush. It's a real pretty kind of plummy pink, and it's called Rebel Rose. I'm not sure if they still carry this. I haven't worked for Lauder for a couple of years, but I'm sure they have an equivalent, because this particular color worked on everyone when I worked for that company. So I have used it for quite some time. So I take my blush brush, swirl it in there. You're going to tap it off because we don't need a whole ton of color on our cheeks. And the way that I apply blush is the Makeup Forever way. So you want to go in kind of a figure 8 motion on your cheekbones. You're going to start with the apple of your cheek. I use half of the brush on one side of my face and half of the brush on the other. And then you can fill in where you feel necessary. Yes. So pink cheeks. Pink cheeks were big in the 1940s. Pink cheeks are still big. If you like blush, you like blush. So that's done, that's done, that's done, that's done. So the next thing that I'm going to tell you guys is, for sure, she's not wearing any eyeliner in this show. She does wear eyeliner at one point in Captain America: The First Avenger, but she's not wearing any eyeliner in the show. I think she's wearing lashes. So I am going to put on lashes. So my first step with this is always to put some of the lash glue somewhere on this little tray. Now I've got two different sets of eyelashes on this tray at the moment. The ones that are up here that are stuck to it are the pair that came in this, and I believe they're by Revlon. The ones that are below them are MAC lashes, and those are the ones that I'm actually going to put on for the tutorial. They're nice, kind of natural-like synthetic fiber. So you squirt out some of your lash glue on here and kind of let it get a little tacky before you're going to run your lashes through the glue. So I guess I can do another step before that. So even though she doesn't wear any eyeshadow, like I said, in the show, I do like to use a Makeup Forever product that is called Star Powder. And all it really does is add a little bit of a shimmer to any area that you want to put it in. You can put it as a highlight, you can wear it as an eyeshadow, what have you. So that's a Makeup Forever. The particular one that I am wearing is number 940. Makeup Forever does not have color names, so this one is just number 940. Let me see if you can kind of get an idea of what that entails. It's opalescent almost, so it's got like reds and golds in it. I wear it as an eyeshadow and as a highlight quite frequently. So my eyeshadow brushes, as you can see, some of my brushes are not high-end. This came from the art store, quite literally. It's a Lowell and Cornell brush meant for oil painting, but it has the same tip on it, same brush head on it that a MAC eyeshadow brush would have. So I figured that out a couple years back, and every time I buy like 3 of them, I have them for 2 years and they get crappy and I toss them and buy new ones. So what I do is I take some of the Star Powder from the lid, because the stuff will get everywhere, just like loose powders do, and I will run it over my eyelid and up under here just to give me a little bit of depth. You don't have to do this. Like I said, she's not wearing any eyeshadow. It could just be, you know, your natural skin. It's fine. I like to throw some on my cheekbones just to give a little bit of a highlight, because why not? And down the nose, down the bow, and right here, just a little bit. Star Powder's a fun thing. If you ever walk into Makeup Forever and walk out without buying Star Powder, I would be shocked. I'm just saying. So, lashes. Not everybody likes to wear lashes. Not everybody has worn lashes in the past. So this is my method of doing it. I take the lash, my lash glue's right here, which you can't see, of course, because we're in the sunlight. But I just run the very edge of my lash in the glue and get some on there. I have worked with an actress in the theater industry who liked to use a very thin brush and paint a line of the glue on her lash line before she put the lashes on. If that's your preferred method, go for it. This is the method that I use, and it seems to work for me just fine. So then I let it dry a bit. So you let the latex dry just a bit to get tacky, and then you're going to apply your lashes. As close to your lash line as you can get them. Now these particular ones from MAC don't have that thick black bottom, so they're not going to give me the, I let it get too dry. They're not going to give me that black line that lashes sometimes do, which is what I prefer. especially since I'm going to take the look from the series into the movie. I'm going to add eyeliner anyway. So here we go. Now the one trick that I can tell everyone is don't apply mascara before you put your lashes on. Let your lashes set. Let the latex glue set. If you have a latex allergy, then lash glue is probably not the best way to go. I know they have alternatives out there for those of us who do. I thankfully do not. So anyway, let your lash set on your eye before you apply your mascara, because what you want to do is try to get your natural eyelashes to go up into the falsies and kind of become one big lash, which is, you know, the point of falsies. Mac used to make a mascara that was called False Lashes. It's probably the first big girl mascara I ever bought myself, and it kind of worked as marketed. Made you look like you had falsies on, which was kind of fun. I happen to have naturally long eyelashes and don't wear falsies very often, but for this particular character, it's not required. If you have naturally long lashes and you can find a mascara that you like that makes you look like you have big lashes, great. I just like the overdone look of having those big lashes. So, okay. If you need to apply falsies with tweezers, do. There's nothing saying that you can't. Some people feel like they get a better grip on them if they use tweezers. But like I said, as close to the lash line as absolutely possible. And then you let them dry just for a little bit before you you can push them into place if you like, make them a little bit bigger. So we let those guys dry while they're sitting there in place. Now the mascara that I choose to use is a Chanel mascara. It's Chanel Le Volume in Noir. So that's, there you go, Le Volume de Chanel. And this is a little sample that I got from a friend of mine who works for the company, and it's fantastic mascara. I know that it retails for $30. Which is not bad for a really nice high-end mascara. So now that my lashes have dried, we're going to take the mascara and we're going to, like I said, we're going to try to run our lashes, our natural lashes, into the false lashes. And the point is to create a nice full lash look. Now the reason, I'm going to tell you right now, the reason that they probably put lashes on her in the show and why I think they did that is because it reads better on camera. There are a lot of things you might look at a character on TV and think, oh, it's a man, he's not wearing any makeup. Yes, he is, because the camera, especially with the way they use digital cameras nowadays, it's a lot of HD makeup, but you still need makeup, because if we didn't have it, then you'd be seeing all sorts of, they wouldn't have the flawless skin and the things that they do. So my personal opinion is that she is wearing lashes in the show. She might not be. Like I said, the only people who know, truly know, are Hayley Atwell and the makeup artist. And, you know, members of production. I like to add some mascara to my lower lashes. I always do, always have, just because I feel like it makes my eyes look bigger. And I'm not going to throw in my brown contacts today, even though I, could have fun with that, but I'm not going to. So I've now blended my natural lashes into the falsies, and you can see how much more, even though you can't see me real close, you can see how much bigger my eyelashes look. And I kind of look like I have eyeliner on, but I don't. That's why I think she's wearing lashes in the show. So now that is basically it, aside from the lipstick, which if you guys haven't seen the postings, I'm sure you all have, but the lipstick that they use in the show is Besame Cosmetics, and the color is Red Velvet. It's their 1946 color. It's lovely. It's really, really lovely color, and it's a matte, which I absolutely love. I'm a red lipstick addict, and I have been ever since I became a redhead 5 years ago and suddenly could wear red lipstick. The thing that people forget when wearing red lipstick is that you must wear a lip liner. It's going to feather whether you think it is or not. This lipstick's lovely. I really love that it's a United States product. It's vegan, it's gluten-free, which I have a wheat allergy. I've never had an issue with cosmetics, but it's nice to know that it's gluten-free and it's vegan and it's a United States product. Last I heard, she did get this color back in, so if you go to besamecosmetics.com, you can pick it up. I think it was $26 or $27. With the shipping, it comes out to about $30, which, you know, what to feel like Peggy Carter wearing her lipstick, what's the cost, really? I'm just saying. So, anyway, the lip liner that I use for most of my red lipsticks is MAC in Cherry, and it's a nice lip liner. As you can see, I use it like crazy. It goes on real smooth. But the way that you line your lips is going to determine whether or not they are going to be symmetrical. So I learned this technique from Makeup Forever. You want to do the bottom of your lip and the bow of your lip first. So there you do the bottom of your lip and the bow of your lip. See how they're symmetrical? These two ladies up here look alike. And then you're going to go in from the side down to where your first line is. And then up to meet the bow. It took me a little while to get used to this technique because I'd been lining my lips just like the way you would think for years. And I went to a class, the class where I bought that lovely primer actually, and I learned this technique and I have done it ever since, and I get a very symmetrical lip look from it. Now I need tissues. So the thing that I think people don't realize is we do blot our lipstick, but you should really blot your lip liner as well. It doesn't take much off. You can barely see it in this light. It's a little pink and intent right there, but blotting your lip liner will definitely help your lipstick not to just smear it around and actually have it work. Now I have rather chapped lips because it is winter time here on the East Coast. So I run a little bit of chapstick in the middle here, press my lips together. It does move my lip liner around just a little bit, but that way I'm going to get an even look with the lipstick. Now the cool thing about the Besame that I really, really love is that the shape of the top of the lipstick has this, both sides of it are able to be used as application, but having this ridge at the top really helps with getting your the bow of your lip perfect. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm looking in a mirror over here, obviously, which I grabbed about halfway through the video when I went, oh crap, I can't see myself. But anywho, so I always start down here on my lower lip. I don't know why, it's always just the way I've done it. I do the middle here, and then I like to kind of kiss my lips together and evenly distribute the color. So with the ridge, I can then go and turn it on its side and go up the side of my lip and not get some overflow, which I sometimes get down beneath my lip line. Now, makeup artists would usually use a brush to apply their lipstick, but I mean, even I've been doing makeup for years, even I don't use a lip brush to apply my own lipstick, so forget that. And then again here on the edge, which is nice. I just love the way that this is shaped. And then I'm going to go up and I use it on its side like this. Up into the bow and then down. Having that ridge just makes it so nice. Now, it goes on, the first time I put this lipstick on, I was like, okay, so this is the color she's wearing. Really, it's a little dark. It is a little dark until you blot it. And then we get that nice crimson Peggy Carter red, which is fabulous. Plus, you know, I've seen some framed artwork that's like someone's tissue that they blotted all of their lips on over. I don't know how long they hung on to this tissue. I'm not like that. Mine is going in the trash. But anyway, so there you have it. She's a very simple makeup look to throw on. I'm sure they could do her makeup in 10-15 minutes every morning for the show. Now, to move it into what she's got in Captain America First Avenger, we need two things. We need eyeliner and we need an eyeshadow. Now, the eyeshadow that she's wearing in the movie is very neutral brown. You can hardly really tell that it's there. So I have, over the years, collected a lot of palettes. One of my favorite places to buy palettes is coastalscents.com. See the little thing down here. This is the neutral palette. I don't know if they make it. It is 28 different shadows, which is great. It's a mix of mattes and shimmers. So the particular color that I'm going to use here is actually a matte brown, which is going to be down here, which, let's see if I can't. Oh, hey, I lost one. That's a shame. I have to glue that guy back in. So the color that I want to use is this guy right here. It's a very neutral taupe brown. You wouldn't think it would show up at all and no one's going to realize. It's something that is that delicate, and then I mean, for the time period it's appropriate. So I know I've got my star powder on, but this is an easy fix. So get some on there. I usually tap a little bit off because nobody wants too much eyeshadow. And you're going to just do it on your lid. You don't go up to your eye line, or your eyebrow, I'm sorry. You just do it on your lid. Very simple. Get some in the crease. A lot of people forget to go up and into the crease between your eyelid and your upper eyelid. So go up and into your crease because that helps it to read as well. So you can't tell a ton, but I did just kind of get a little bit more depth on the eye. If you want to, you can go a little darker than that. I'd rather not. I could throw in a little bit. Okay, let's. So I've got a rich kind of caramel brown down here. So I took a little bit of that and I'm going to throw that in my crease right back here and in the corner. That gives it a little bit more depth. Taking a little bit of liberties, you guys. Sometimes you gotta just have fun with makeup. So throw in a little bit more in the crease back there. Awesome, right? Here we go. So the eyeliner that I'm going to use, I always use a gel eyeliner. That's my preferred. My eyeliner brush is a Dior brush, and it's got this beautiful rounded tip that's very flat, so I can get a really nice sharp line, or I can do a really nice wing. So in the First Avenger, not the whole movie, not at the end when she's heartbreakingly saying goodbye to Steve as he plummets into the ocean, but earlier in the movie, she actually does have the winged eyeliner on that is kind of signature of the 1950s. And for 1944, 1945, that would work, but it's not required, obviously, because the look that we just did from the show, she's not wearing any eyeliner, she's not wearing any eyeshadow. It was a very big pink cheek, red lip kind of era in the 1940s. So this particular, I'm sorry, I didn't even show you guys. I use Inglot gel eyeliner in number 77, but it's, if you just walk in and tell them black, this is the blackest black they've got. They also have like a gray, and they have a bunch of different colors that are really beautiful. They're nice creamy eyeliners. They don't dry out real quick, and you get a ton of it. I have had this for, I want to say 5 months now, and I've barely made a dent. There's so much eyeliner in this, and it's like 12 bucks. So it's absolutely worth it. I was using Smashbox for a while. Smashbox likes to dry up. I tried Urban Decay. I didn't like the texture. This one has a really nice creamy texture, and like I said, you get a ton for 12 bucks, and it doesn't dry up. So I keep the cap on mine. I fill the brush, not completely, just get the tip covered in a bit of black. And then the way that I do my eyeliner, anybody in the beauty industry would freak out because I kind of pull on my eyelid and you create wrinkles that way. Listen, just use eye cream, you'll be fine. So close your eye, pull down, and then I do it right along the lash line first. You want to make sure that you stay close to the lash line. Not right there. Eyeliner doesn't go right there. Oh my goodness. You want to stay close to the lash line in the corner of the eye because you don't want a huge, you don't need it to be real thick right there. So we'll go along where the lashes sit all the way to the edge. And just filling that in is real nice. If that's as much commitment as you want to make to it, stop right there. You absolutely can. You see the difference in my eyes already just by adding a little bit of eyeliner. But like I said, Peggy had the wing going on, so we'll give it a little bit of a wing. So I like to go from the top of where my eyeliner is sitting here and go out as far as I like to go. And then I go down here to almost even with my lower lid lash line and pull the rest of the wing out to there. Now I'm running out of product, so I take a little bit more. Still pull my eyelid out like you see. I'm a bad girl where that's concerned. Bring out more, and then you just fill in. Just tapping lightly, filling in. It wasn't a harsh wing like they wore in the 60s. It was the very soft, kind of subtle, just start going into the winged eyeliner phase. So if you want to add that little bit, you don't have to. Just adding the eyeshadow gives you her look at the very end of Captain America. But if you add the wing eyeliner, you've got like the look that she's wearing when she goes out in the red dress and meets Steve at the dance club. So I can't go out without a finished look. I can't. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've never done a winged eyeliner, it takes practice. It's not something you can just learn overnight. It's definitely not something that I learned overnight. As I'm showing you my technique right now, it took me a bit to develop the technique that works for me. There might be another technique that works for you, and that particular technique might include liquid eyeliner as opposed to gel eyeliner with a brush. Now, the beauty of gel eyeliner is that it's very forgiving. So if you make a mistake, you can go in and fix it. So there have been days where I have wanted to do a subtle wing, and I have gotten a big wing on one eye and a little wing on the other eye, and I went, well, I guess it's going to be a big wing day. Sometimes it just happens that way. So here you go. I've worn this look a lot lately. I like to wear red lipstick, and I like to wear a nice big eye, so it's kind of fun for me. If I were wearing brown contacts and a brown wig, I might actually, fit the part at the moment. But there you have it. Peggy's makeup's pretty simple, and you don't have to use, like I said, you don't have to use the products that I use here, but a lot of them are really nice, particularly the Besame Cosmetics lipsticks. They're lovely. I haven't used their powders yet. I look forward to using it in the future. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, you guys. I hope you're enjoying our week-long tribute to Peggy Carter. We're going to miss her so much, but we hope to get her back next season.
Yes,
Renew
it's
Peggy
a good
Carter.
Day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything be wrong? A good day from morning till night.